I hope you're listening to me, President Doumbouya. I hope you're listening to me, General Goïta. I hope you're listening to me, General Chiani. I hope you're listening to me, young President Ibrahim Traoré. If you take the money from China, if you take too much assistance from Russia, if you take too many handouts from India, you become their slave. Russia don't give a damn about Africa. Russia don't like Africa no more than China. And China don't like African people no more than the United States. Everybody in Africa who is not a black African is an invader or the descendant of one. Today we're going to talk about our Guinean Africans. The Africans in Guinea. We're going to talk about our Africans in Burkina Faso. We're going to talk about our Africans in Niger and our Africans in Mali because there's a crisis going on in the Sahel. There's a crisis going on in the Western Sahel. And today we have to decide as an African people globally whether or not what is happening in the Sahel, is it a crisis or is it an opportunity for liberation? That's the question today. We know that the president of Guinea, brothers and sisters, President Doumbouya, came to power in a coup approximately 2 years ago. Has that coup been beneficial to our brothers and sisters in the land of Sékou Touré, in the land of Sékou Touré, in the land where Osajafo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah died and was buried? If you live in Guinea right now, if you are an African brother or sister in Guinea right now, the land of Pan-Africanism, I want you to message me on WhatsApp and let me know what's happening right now in Guinea. Is President Doumbouya, is he a blessing to our brothers and sisters in Guinea, or is he a curse? We got to decide. Is this revolution for the benefit of the white power structure, or is this revolution for the benefit of a new African world order? That's the question we have to ask today, brothers and sisters. I want to hear from our brothers and sisters in Guinea about General Doumbouya. I want to hear from our brothers and sisters in Mali about General Goïta. Next, we come to Burkina Faso, the land of Thomas Sankara, the land of the upright people of Burkina Faso. We have a young brother. Ibrahim Traoré, the youngest president on the planet Earth, is in Burkina Faso, land of the upright people. President Ibrahim Traoré. And brother Ibrahim, you are a breath of fresh air, my brother. At only 34 years old, you are impressing Dr. Umar Johnson. But I got some questions for you. Because unlike other Africans who are swept up with good speeches, I got some questions for you and the other three leaders of what can be the new African revolution for true liberation. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm not going to keep y'all real long. But we got to have this conversation with our 4 young leaders in Africa. We got to have this conversation with the president of Guinea. We got to have this conversation with the president of Mali. We got to have this conversation with the new young president Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, 34 years old, the youngest president on the face of the earth. We got to have this conversation. Brother Ibrahim, I think you are the real deal. There's presidents in Africa, leaders in Africa, they talk, but they don't really do anything. They just talk. I think you're the real deal, President Ibrahim, but I got to challenge you, my brother. I still got to challenge you because I don't need my brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso catching any more hell. I don't want my brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso to suffer any more death, any more starvation, poverty, economic devastation. I need you brothers to mean what you say and say what you mean, brothers and sisters. I need you brothers and sisters to mean what you say and say what you mean. So brother Ibrahim Traoré, are you the real deal or are you acting for a white foreign power? General Goïta of Mali, are you the real deal or are you acting for a foreign power? General Doumbouya of Guinea, are you the real deal or are you acting for a foreign power? And then we come to the latest coup in Africa. And then we come to the latest coup leader in Africa. And that takes us to the great Niger people. The great people of Niger, General Chiani. 62 years old, you're the eldest of the four. General Chiani, I have a question for you. General Chiani, you've only been in office 10 days. Your coup took place 10 days ago. Your coup took place 10 days ago. Your coup in Niger took place 10 days ago. But I got to ask you a serious question, my brother. Are you doing this for the liberation of African brothers and sisters in Niger? Are you doing this for the brothers and sisters in Niger, or are you doing this for yourself? This is my question to these four African leaders. This is my question to these four African leaders. General Doumbouya of Guinea, you've been in office nearly 2 years. General Goïta of Mali, you've been in office nearly 2 years. President Ibrahim Traoré, you've been in office about a year. And General Chiani of Niger, you've been in office for only 10 days. But my question to all of you, my first question to you four African leaders whose countries make up a collective area of land that is geopolitically critical for the regeneration and liberation and salvation of the continent of Africa and African people around the world. Are you, brother, serious, or is this an ego trip? I'm not attacking you and I'm not promoting you. I'm asking a question. I'm not attacking you and I'm not promoting you. I'm asking you a question. Are you, brother, serious, or is this something for your ego? Because let us be honest. Patrice Lumumba was the real deal, but he was overthrown by a traitor. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was the real deal, but he was overthrown by a traitor. Amilcar Cabral of Guinea-Bissau was the real deal, but he was assassinated by a traitor. Samora Machel was the real deal, but he was assassinated by traitors. Eduardo Mondlane was the real deal, but he was assassinated by traitors. Chris Hani, who should be the president of South Africa right now. I said Chris Hani, who should be the president of South Africa right now. I said Chris Hani, who should be the president of South Africa right now, was the real deal, but he was assassinated with the help of traitors. So I got to ask you four brothers. President Ibrahim, General Goïta, President Doumbouya, General Chiani, are you doing this because you want power and money? Or are you doing this because you seek real revolution, real redemption, real freedom, and real independence for my brothers and sisters in Western Africa and Central Africa? That's the question I'm asking today. I want to get behind you, brothers. I want to stand in solidarity with these four young kings, 3 kings plus an elder. I want to stand in solidarity with you, but I got questions that need to be answered. I got questions that need to be answered because I know the CIA. I know that the CIA. I know that the CIA. I know that the CIA and the British MI6 and the French Secret Service, they have a bad habit of funding coups against African leaders who don't do what they want them to do. I got to know that you four brothers are not puppets of the French. I got to know that you four brothers are not puppets of the French. I got to know that you four brothers are not puppets of the French. I got to know that you are not puppets of the British MI6. I got to know that you are not puppets of the United States Central Intelligence Agency. I'm asking real questions and I hope I get real answers. I'm asking real questions of the president of Guinea, the president of Mali, the president of Burkina Faso, and the new president only 10 days in the making, the newest of them all, our elder General Tchani. Are you the real deal, or are you an opportunist? That's the question. That's the question I need to ask. I look at the natural minerals of these countries. I look at the natural minerals. Let's start with Burkina Faso. Let's start with Burkina Faso. But before I do, I didn't say peace and Pan-Africanism to my American Africans. Let me get back to Africa. Let me get back to Africa. Let me get back to Africa. If you are a pretendian, please hop off the live. If you didn't come from Africa, please hop off the live. All non-African people, hop off the live. I'm talking to people who are black Africans and who are proud to be black Africans and who don't want to be anything else on God's green earth but a black African. First of all, to President Ibrahim, General Tchani, General Doumbouya, and General Goïta. What is going to be our plan to stop the Arab countries from the north from invading your territory? What are we going to do about Libya, Morocco, the other Arab states that are just above you? I understand you're still fighting Islamic militants. Are we sure these Islamic militants aren't being financed by the CIA, French government, or British MI6? What is your plan to crush once and for all the Islamic militants who are threatening to take over your independent countries? We need to know what is the plan to crush the Islamic insurrection. We're not against Islam. We're not against Islam. We're not against Islam. We're against those insurgents who are using the religion to disguise their evil, selfish, and wicked agendas. What is going to be the plan in order to crush the Islamic insurgency that is threatening the independence of Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Guinea? What is the solution? But another question I have for you four brothers. Another question I have for the presidents of Guinea, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. What deals are you making with China and Russia that the people don't know about? What deals are you making with China and Russia that the people don't know about? What deals are you making with China and Russia that the people don't know about? Don't tell me you overthrew the previous leader to make the same mistakes that he made in Guinea. Don't tell me you overthrew the previous leader to make the same mistakes he made in Mali. Don't tell me you overthrew the previous leader to make the same mistakes he made in Burkina Faso. Don't tell me you overthrew the previous leader so you can make the same mistakes that he made in Niger. Do not go into debt to Russia, China, or India. They are not your friends. If you go into debt to Russia, China, and India, you are no longer a revolutionary. You are a puppet. I hope you're listening to me, President Doumbouya. I hope you're listening to me, General Goïta. I hope you're listening to me, General Tchani. I hope you're listening to me, young President Ibrahim Traoré. If you take the money from China, if you take too much assistance from Russia, if you take too many handouts from India, you become their slave. You become their slave. I'm not saying you can't do business with them. I'm not saying you can't do business. You may have to do business because your country has immediate needs before you can get yourself back up on your feet. I know you will have to do some business with India, Russia, and China. I understand. But what I'm saying is don't sign any deals that are going to be so deep, so long in their history that you will not be able to cut the umbilical cord to the Chinese neocolonizer, the Russian neocolonizer, the Indian neocolonizer. Russia don't give a damn about Africa. Russia don't like Africa no more than China. And China don't like African people no more than the United States. Everybody in Africa who is not a black African is an invader or the descendant of one. I said everybody in Africa who is not a black African is either an invader or a descendant of one. I said everyone in Africa who is not a black African is either an invader or a descendant of an invader. Do not sell off your corporations. Do not sell off your minerals. Give nobody exclusive rights to your mineral resources. Let's look at Burkina Faso. You want to know why the Chinese and the Russians are so interested in Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso has gold. Burkina Faso has zinc. Burkina Faso has copper. Burkina Faso has manganese. Burkina Faso has phosphate, limestone. Burkina Faso has diamonds. Burkina Faso has bauxite, nickel, and uranium that they need for atomic weapons. Not only that, Burkina Faso is one of the world's largest producers of cotton. Burkina Faso is one of the world's largest producers of cotton. Burkina Faso is one of the world's largest producers of cotton. And with that type of cotton, why don't you create a clothing and furniture manufacturing industry? Make your own clothing, Burkina Faso. Make your own furniture, Burkina Faso, and sell it to Africans in the diaspora. I can promise you that your brothers and sisters in Europe, your brothers and sisters in Canada, your brothers and sisters in America, your brothers and sisters in Central and South America will buy your merchandise. Stop begging for handouts. No African country should get most of their budget from handouts. Half of the countries in Africa get half of their budget from handouts from the white man and the yellow man. That has to stop. That has to stop. Half of the countries in Africa, half of their annual budget comes from handouts from thieving neocolonizers. They shouldn't be giving you nothing. They should be paying for what they steal. They shouldn't be giving you nothing. They should be paying for what they steal. They shouldn't be giving you anything. They should be paying for what they steal from Africa. Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim, I look forward to you building a large clothing manufacturing industry that can sell African clothing all over the diaspora. You can send it to me. I'll be your contact in the United States to get clothing manufactured in Burkina Faso, sold all over North America, South America, Central America, Canada, and the Caribbean. I can promise you this. I can promise you this. We don't need handouts. We need industry. We don't need foreign investment. We need domestic industry. Africa does not need foreign handouts and investments. Africa needs domestic industry and institutions. All that cotton, let's do something with it, President Ibrahim Traore. All that cotton, let's do something with it. You could put your women to work, your children to work. You could put the men to work. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about building the economy of Burkina Faso so our people can eat. So Burkina Faso doesn't have to depend on handouts from its enemies in order to feed its family. You also have shea butter. Burkina Faso has a large amount of shea nut. We can sell that shea butter on the international stage. Our brothers and sisters in European countries like America, in England, in France, they would love to get their hands on that shea butter. They would love to get their hands on that shea butter. You also have corn, peanuts, and rice. You can sell that stuff to us. We'll buy some of it. We can have an import-export agricultural relationship. An import-export agricultural relationship. They messing with my Facebook because I'm talking about Africa. They messing with my Facebook because I'm talking about Africa. Facebook, come on over to Instagram. Facebook, come on over to Instagram. Facebook, come on over to Instagram. They messing with the Facebook right now. They messing with my Facebook broadcasts because they know we talking about the empowerment of Africa. We're talking about the empowerment of Africa. Let's go to Mali. Let's go to Mali. General Doumbouya, you've been in charge for 2 years. What have you done, sir? Mali has gold. Mali has diamonds. Mali has uranium, copper, iron ore. Mali has lithium. Mali has manganese. Mali has bauxite, lead, marble. Mali also has some of the best and most beautiful animals in the world. Mali has rhinos, lions, crocodiles, elephants, camels, leopards, giraffes, chimpanzees, and pythons. I think it's time. I think it's time for Mali to create a zoology program for children in the African diaspora. I said, I think it's time for Mali to create a zoology program for African children in the diaspora where they can come to Mali. Children in the African diaspora should be able to come to Mali and learn how to domesticate animals, learn how to take care of animals, learn how to breed and to feed animals. Do you know how much money the government of Mali would make if you start a Pan-African zoology and farming program where African children from the diaspora can come to Mali? Come on, Africans. Come on, brothers and sisters. If you're going to overthrow the previous leader and become the new leader, let's start building. Stop being consumed with ego and power, and let's start serving the brothers and sisters in Guinea. Serve my brothers and sisters in Mali. Serve my brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso. Serve my brothers and sisters in Niger. Let me try to get back on Facebook. They messing with the live because I'm talking Pan-Africanism. They messing with the live because I'm talking Pan-Africanism. Brothers and sisters, Facebook is over with. They don't want Facebook, come to Instagram. They don't want me on, I don't think they want me on Facebook. They don't want me on Facebook today. They do not want me on Facebook today. TikTok has already banned me. TikTok has already banned me. TikTok has already banned me. Brothers and sisters, Mali can sell your gold. Burkina Faso can sell your gold. You need to start mining your own gold and educate your own goldsmith so you can start selling African jewelry. We would love to buy African jewelry direct from African nations, not from the Oppenheimers, not from the De Beers, not from the European thieves of African gold and platinum and diamonds. Burkina Faso, start making your own African jewelry. Build a website and let us buy African jewelry directly from you. Mali, start making your own African jewelry from your diamonds and your gold. African people want to buy directly from the gold and diamonds of Burkina Faso and Mali. And then we come to Guinea. Guinea has bauxite, iron ore, gold, diamonds. Guinea has graphite, manganese, nickel, uranium. Guinea has bananas, pineapples, potatoes, and mangoes. Guinea, can you ship your pineapples, bananas, tomatoes, and mangoes to the United States? Can you ship it to Canada? Can you ship it to the black communities of Europe? Can you ship your bananas and pineapples and mangoes and tomatoes to Central and South America, to the Caribbean, and to the United States? We want to support you. We want to support you. Let's stop wasting time. You've been in office 2 years, President Doumbouya of Guinea. You've been in office 2 years. Brother Tchani of Niger, you only been in there for 10 days. But General Goïta of Mali, you've been in office for 2 years. President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, you've been in office for about a year. Let's start making Africa work for African people. 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 And then we go to Niger. Let's go to Niger. Niger is one of the world's largest producers of uranium. Niger is one of the world's largest producers of uranium. That is an atomic weapon ingredient. President Tchani, what are we going to do about the uranium? I understand you want the French out, and I'm glad. I'm glad you're pushing the French out of Niger. I'm glad General Goïta is pushing the French out of Mali. I'm glad President Ibrahim is pushing the French out of Burkina Faso. I'm glad President Doumbouya is pushing the French out of Guinea. But that doesn't mean let the Chinese come in and steal the resources. That doesn't mean let the Americans come in and steal the resources. That doesn't mean let the Russians come in and steal the resources. That doesn't mean let the East Indians come in and steal the resources. What is your plan? Niger? I know you only 10 days in office, Elder. I know you only 10 days in office, General Chiani. I know you only president for 10 days so far, General Chiani. Your revolution is only 10 days old. But the African diaspora wants to know, what are your plans for the uranium deposits? What are your plans for the uranium deposit? Don't just sell it off to the Russians because they smile it in your face. Don't just sell it off to the Russians because they smile it in your face. Come on, brother. Niger has coal. Niger has gold. Niger has iron ore, tin, petroleum. Niger has vegetable oil, rice, and beef products. Sell your beef products to Black America. We want your beef products in Black America, General Chiani. Send your beef products to America. We love beef ribs. Oh, yes, we love beef chops, brother. Beef, we eat beef. A lot of us are meat eaters. Give us that natural African beef that doesn't have any hormones. Give us that non-GMO beef. Send your beef to America. Send your beef to Central and South American Africans. Send your beef to the Caribbean and to Africans in Asia and England. You don't need investors. You need industry, and you need to start thinking up solutions. We need solutions, not saviors in Africa. We need solutions, not saviors in Africa. We need solutions, not saviors in Africa. Bring us that original, unmolested African meat. We will buy that African meat, Niger. I need y'all to think about the diaspora, brothers and sisters. Let me explain something to you. This dial right here, this so-called Negro dial, baby, this is a Band-Aid. This is not a solution. Dr. Umar, why are you saying the black dial is a Band-Aid and not a solution? I'll tell you why the black dial is a Band-Aid and not a solution. First of all, does she has an African nose or does she have a European nose?